Whoa, you're listening to Dome to Dome. I'm your host, Sabrina Chong Tim. And if you're listening from my dome to my mouth to your ears to your dome, that means you're on our YouTube channel. I have to find a better way to say that because I used to say you're a Patreon subscriber or a patron, if you will. But you're not anymore. You're just on YouTube, and I love that for all of us. Today is a very special episode because we are going to be going through it's going through our characters. Very fun, very flirty, very thriving. Okay, so first up we have the one, the only Anuhea Park.
Thank you. Drum roll, applause, fanfare, crying.
Very good. Welcome to Dome to Dome. Right now, we're going through our backstories. We meet you actually first. You are the nomad that we talk about in episode uno.
Yes.
So we are going to be talking what I affectionately call questions for co-stars, because you know what? That's what we are.
We're co-stars.
Yeah, we're stars.
We're stars.
Just like the stars in the back of your screen.
This is us.
There we are.
The whole group.
So bright and shiny. I love it.
That's me and you.
There we go.
Wait, Lemura. The guys. Paco.
The big one.
The brightest star of them all.
Wow. All right, let's hop into it. Give us a brief visual description of Fearne.
She's a baddie.
Yeah, she is. Give me more.
Okay, so she's sort of like typical, ethereal elf, like elfish. I mean, she's not a high elf, she's a half elf, but so she's like human adjacent, but like really beautiful. She got that elf beauty. She's fair skinned, dark hair, she's got a lot of hair. It's beautiful. It makes you wonder, like, how long does that take her every day on the road? And then you find out, oh, that's just how she wakes up. And that gives you conflicted feelings towards her because we love that, but also we hate that at the same time. She has bright emerald green eyes. I don't think we talk about her eyes enough.
I don't think we do.
But they are bright emerald green.
Wow.
They look kind of sparkly from a distance, but when you get up close, you're like, whoa, those are green. Yeah.
Nice. Creepy green or beautiful green?
Beautiful green. It's not a green where you're like, oh, scary, walk away. But it's definitely like a deep jewel tone green.
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't talk about her eyes enough.
We should.
We should.
We should. And she's a druid, right? And so she's very, the Sound of Music, that So Long Farewell song. In my head, when I think about her, it's just that one line, I flit, I flee, I fly. It's like some of the sisters are saying,
yeah.
I flit, I flee, I fly. That's what I think of. That's what I think of. She's like just fluttering through life. Her mother was human. Her mother passed away. Just part of, like, they owned land. They had a home outside of Raven's Perch in a forested area. And she lived there with her mom for many years. And when her mom, who was a human, passed away at in her 90s, she just continued to stay there. And then at the point that we get introduced to her, she decides that there's gotta be more to life.
There's a lot of songs happening, and I'm here for it.
It's how my brain works.
I'm here for it. That's kind of heartbreaking, huh? I mean, being a half elf, having a longer lifespan, and then still being young while your 90-year-old mom passes.
Yeah. You know, I think that's another thing we don't talk enough about with just elves in general, or like just these species that really have a longer outlive their friends and their family and their loved ones.
That's so sad. Maybe we shouldn't think about it because I will cry.
Maybe we should talk about that a little bit more.
You mentioned that she's a druid. What's her circle?
Circle of the Spores.
That's a real circle, right? You didn't make it up.
No, I didn't make it up. Circle of Spores, Circle of the Spores. I can't remember the
Circle of the spores, I believe.
Of the spores.
I believe so.
Yeah, which is a unique. It's very kind of dark. It's a unique circle, and that, you know, it's really in touch with this aspect of life after death or life from death. And so you have this darkness or dark kind of shadowy reality paired with a character that is very jovial when you really meet her. I mean, she's like carefree. She's like, well, everything is gonna be great, you know?
Yeah, very druid. Until you kind of get into the hold on. There is a hint of necromantic energy that kind of comes without completely like going
giving
against
yourself over into necromancy, right? The illegal stuff.
the off limit stuff.
the taboo things.
Yes. So basically that's what happens in the episode, in the backstory, where we kind of she leaves her home and she's on an adventure.
She embarks on a nomadic life, which is wildly different from how life has always been for her. It has been for decades, just very stationary. I think, what is she, like 100 something? 120. She lived 120 years in the same place, watching people die around her.
That's so sad.
Man. But yeah, you don't really get the sad vibe from her, especially in this episode. That's not something that really she's very she has a bright spirit to her, a fun personality, a little bit snarky. I think the funnest things about her character is that she has not super, but like she has an incredibly high wisdom, but her intelligence is just like, it's not in the negatives, but it's definitely 0.
Yeah, it's subpar.
Yeah, it's not, she's not getting any extra points from her brains. So
that's funny. How is your character Fearne similar and different to Anuhea?
You know, I created her in a season of my life where I was really trying to process grief. And honestly, I used her and playing her as an outlet for me to be able to handle it in a way that was positive and that could provide me hope. Like, I'm talking to her, but or through her, but I'm talking to myself, you know? And so there are some similarities in that, you know, I'm very like just a little bit woo woo. Like, like, I do. I mean, she doesn't have a lot of charisma, but there is this charming quality to her that I think, and quirky, which I feel like is pretty similar to me. And so there's some hints of my personality in that, the snarky, of course. Um, but yeah, I created her as a way for me to, just to be honest, a way for me to process my own grief.
So interesting. Wow. I think a couple maybe differences, and you will kind of see it throughout the time that we spend with Fearne. Um but I feel like she kind of, when things get a little dark, she kind of whoop, zips up and like doesn't want to show anybody that, whereas I mean, you've healed a lot more, and it's beautiful to be able to then take Fern through that healing process that you've gone through yourself. Where you're much more honest about, where you're at and what your battery level is like, for the day. And we're just kind of seeing that happen for Fern, like, oh, that was an uncomfortable feeling and I don't want to talk about it until the dead of night, and there we go, you know.
Right. And I think it's funny because Fern really is the kind of character that I think a lot of people, or a lot of the other characters, are sort of drawn to in some way. Um Maybe against their will at times. But they're certainly drawn to her. And I think when you think about Fern, she's lived her life mainly in this sort of like solitary existence. Like, she has her druid people, um but also for many years she's been alone, you know? And even before then, it was just like her and her mom, and then her and another person that hasn't actually been brought up in the story yet. Who knows if they ever will. Um, but it's just a really small, her world was really small for so many years. And so now she's thrust, into a situation where she's surrounded by all these people. And so yeah, you kind of we get to witness her sort of learn how to let people in.
Oh, that's sad, but good. But good. It's part of the journey.
Yeah.
What's something you'd like our listeners to know about your character? So, I gave the boys an example of, like your favorite color or a dream you've had, but they went really deep with it. So feel free to just to,
They went really deep. Gee.
yeah, they went for it.
I guess we'll see, people will see this as her arc, you know, continues on, right? In various ways. But um when you mention that she's so quick to zip up her emotions, um I think that it's shocking for some people when she doesn't respond emotionally the way that people think that she should.
Yeah.
Um
They get kind of scared. They're like, oh, what's happening?
yeah, and it could be in a variety of different ways. For like example, she could have a way more extreme reaction than they they'd expect her to have, or she's way more apathetic
Mm-hmm.
than they expect her to have. But all of that is, I mean, I think she tends towards apathy. As friendly and as kind and compassionate as she is, she actually trends towards apathy more than I think people realize, because I think it's a way of her self preservation, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a certain hardening that she does in order to not be totally succumb to whatever it is that she's feeling that's too hard for her to process. So
Yoinks. Being 20 plus episodes, so we're 24 today. We are 24 episodes into the Copper Guard. Being 20 episodes in, how has your character developed without giving any spoilies?
I think at the beginning she was sort of like, and this was totally, we hadn't even started recording episodes yet. It
Mm-hmm.
was like the pre-recording sessions that we were doing, and she's really was, sort of like she was an unlikely hero. That was sort of her backstory, right? She was thrust into this position of like, well, you know, I guess I'm the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess I'll do it.
Nobody else gonna do it. Okay.
I guess I will. The burden of just, being at the wrong place at the wrong time, or the right place at the right time, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. Half full, half empty. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think she was reluctant in the beginning to engage in ways that made her feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
As the story has progressed and as Fearne has grown, I think you can see her operating in a little bit more confidence, a little bit more assurance of who she is. But I think also there's this aspect of her that feels less apologetic.
Okay.
And not in like, more so in the way of like, this is who I am. And it's okay for me to be who I am. And it's okay for me to follow this emotion here. It's okay for me to let my guard down here. And I guess you just see that more and more. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Open up a little bit.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And kind of taking on the hard stuff. Not to do any spoilies, because I don't want to do that. But like kind of taking on the harder things that I think she would have tended to shy away from.
Yeah. And though I do have a thing that itches in the back of my brain sometimes as we're playing. I wonder, and again, no spoilies, but part of me wonders, is there opportunity for a villain origin story?
Paco will take her away from you if you do that, though. Don't do that.
I feel like, who
I've
knows?
felt that for Taisha a couple times. Like I've felt it. I dance on that line.
I felt that for Taisha as well. And sometimes how Paco sets us up, I'm like, you want me to be.
Yeah, you want it. You want me to say I'm gonna PvP
You want
or
us
whatever.
to be villains. Why are you forcing us to choose between the high road and being a villain?
Gosh, so awful. Okay. From where we are now, 20 episodes in or whatever we're at, what advice would Fearne now give Fearne just stepping out of her home, taking on the world?
I think she'd say, don't forget your hobbies.
Okay. That's good.
Don't lose yourself in the mission so much that you forget to pause and just be present.
Wow, I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. I think all of us should know that. Like that's just for like.
I think maybe that's just for
talk.
me. Maybe that might be just for me.
That's good. All right, we have one more. From where we meet her to where we meet her with the party. What happened in between there, if you remember?
From when we meet her to when we meet with the party.
Yes.
Gosh.
So she meets Joseph.
Right.
And she's gonna go save some kids.
She goes to save some kids. And then I'm pretty sure, didn't like some of those kids get rescued on her way to try to like save them?
Yes, except for one. And that was the one with the witch.
Right. And then and then they that's when we went on the journey to kill the witch,
Yes.
save her soul. I feel like it
Yes.
was pretty quick.
Lilith, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I went on this journey. I think I got to where did we get to? Where was the temple destroyed?
It was like right after you met Joseph.
Yeah, it was right after. Not a lot happened.
No.
I walked about 20,000 steps.
Yep, there you go. Walk to the next town over, watched a church get destroyed, and then you're like, all right, well, we got a couple kids. We got the two that I was talking about.
But what about the last one?
Let's go save her, I guess, with these random people.
Yeah, met a tree along the way.
Yeah, who stole your name.
Stole my name, and I was like, what? I thought we were friends.
Yeah. That's why she's called Fearne, guys.
I honestly just wish that that entire arc was recorded.
It was. Okay, so it is recorded. Or no, I think just the battle might have been recorded. Maybe. But we were getting used to the microphone, and so it's horrible to listen to. But
Gosh, it was so good. That battle was really good. Didn't she like almost die in that one?
Yeah, and same thing with Iverson.
Yeah.
She tried to grab my heart instead, which is not cool. Not a cool thing to do.
Yeah, that was so fun. So yeah, so not a lot happened. I mean, I think she had a few snacks. She walked some miles. She had a few snacks. And then they met up with everyone. So I think really, though her leaving the house and then happening upon Joseph, there's actually more time, I think, in between that. Because she's like, in my mind, she's just exploring. She's allowing herself to see things, to visit places, to be in the wild. You know, she's just allowing herself to see the world. I guess a pilgrimage of sorts for her. And the thing is, she was pretty directionless. She had no end destination, and she was gonna figure it out along the way, and then she happened upon a crisis. So
So it got figured out.
so I guess that, yeah, it happened.
And for our next guest is my husband, and I had to kick him out for this one so he could go to Jacob. But the one, the only, Austin Chong Tim.
Also known as Zorvann, the Dark Elf Cleric.
Woo woo! I mean, the first question that I got for my questions for co-stars, because that is what we are. We are co-stars. Co-star romance. Not character romance. Don't get that twisted. But I think it's so funny because my first question is, give us a brief visual description of your character. And you know what, babe? You always give us a brief description of your character.
Oh my gosh. Like one of the first episodes, I think it was like episode 4, when we're all getting all dressed up, my description, and I think Paco kind of had a feeling he was going to go this way, but he had the guys go first, and I thought my description was detailed until all the girls started, and I was like, I want to do over.
A red velvet jacket. That was it. You're like, yeah. Next. But give us a brief visual description of Zorvann.
Yeah, so Zorvann is what you would call a short king. He is about 5.5 feet tall.
5'5". That's what he means.
5'5", 5'6" on a good day, maybe. He has white hair. I think I always described him as having longer hair. I'm not sure how long his hair is right now. That's a good question. He has two different eye colors, one red, one blue. Um, and that's kind of it. He has darker purplish skin, I guess. Yeah.
Cute. What kind of armor has he got?
I always described him as just having like the leathers, um, unless he's wearing like the ceremonial like cleric robes of like Half Light.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. And let's talk a little bit about his game mechanics. So, as we know, he is a dark elf cleric, but what kind of path is he for his cleric?
Light
A
domain
light.
or something? Yeah,
Light of it, yes.
light domain. I always
Yes.
get light and like life confused. Yeah.
Okay, let's tell that story. You know, the reason why is because Austin has played Zorvan before in a home campaign. I ran the balance campaign of the McElroy brothers for him and two of our friends, and he didn't want to come up with another character, so he called him Zorvan, and he was a life cleric back there.
Yep.
And for this one, he is a light cleric. Lite, light. How is your character similar and different to you?
Oh wow. Um yeah, I feel like Zorvan has a lot, like I put a lot of myself into Zorvan, or at least like the good parts.
Oh, that's good.
Zorvan doesn't have my chaoticness, that's for sure. He's able to see the good in people even when like he shouldn't, you know?
Yeah, which is a
Um
very you thing to do.
yeah, yeah, he's a little bit more soft spoken, so that's definitely similar. He doesn't like attention. Um there's a lot of attention seekers in the party, so it's really easy for him
Hey,
to just kind of blend in in the back lines.
hey, you didn't say my name, but that still hurt my feelings. Just
No,
kidding.
no, no.
What's the differences between you and Zorvan?
Differences. I feel like Zorvan is way more patient than me. Um, Zorvan doesn't like to uh well, he does poke at people sometimes, but not nearly as much as me. Zorvan doesn't try to like cheat the system versus for me, like
Hmm.
I find
You're
it's so fun, like looking for ways to break things, or
yeah,
circumvent rules.
100%.
Yeah.
Talk about chaos. That is chaos.
Yeah.
For real, for real. Like you do have a chaotic streak. I don't think people necessarily see all that much. Um, Very good. I mean, when we meet Zorfan, we kind of talked about it this afternoon, but he's a little green, you know? He's not as wise. He's still kind of picking up on some stuff, still learning a lot. Um, and he's in Half Light, which if you don't know about Half Light, that's the city that Austin never stops talking about. I think I said that in the last Dome to Dome too. Um, but he's in the city of Half-Light and he's learning under his master who took him in as a dark elf light domain cleric, which is probably not something that we see very often. You know, if you're familiar with Drist and those types of things, magic's kind of reserved for the women because it is a matriarchal society. um so for him to be a cleric, and he's above the ground, you know, he's in this world half light. um it is a kind of, I think, and we could actually kind of use this as the answer to the third question, but kind of shows a little bit of a rebel side, right? You know,
Yeah.
he does have that rebel side in pursuit of what he feels like he's called to, and I love that. um some stuff goes down, guys. If you really want to hear it, go listen to episode 1, and you should. But some stuff goes down. There's a little bit of a battle. Teacher's pet versus Papa's son, you know, that type of thing. And then something happens. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's good. With that background, without all the spoilers or whatever, but I feel like we could actually share it a little bit more here too. Um, from Zorvan's perspective, how what is this like? You know what I mean? Going through all of this.
I mean, if you can think of how scary it is, like leaving somewhere that you've known your whole life, starting over, and then not long after that, once you feel like you finally found your actual place in life, being uprooted again, right? And so yeah, definitely a lot of fear, a lot of and I think we see that in the beginning with Zorvan, and I think that kind of contributes to how he behaves in like the first several episodes, until he really warms up.
Yeah. A funny little thing about the boys recording this. So it was just the boys recording, right? So it was Galentine's Day and all the boys were over cuz I was having a Galentine's Day party for the ladies and they're having a little sippies, having a little Zorvan juice as we as we affectionately call it. Um and you know what, you share the story cuz it is funny.
Yep. So gotta have a little of the Zorvan juice, and not, of course, not too much, but just a little bit, just to get loose, and yeah, we were feeling a little toasty and role playing, and yeah, I think it came out really good.
You're missing the key thing that you
Was it
did.
more to the story? What did I do?
You screamed, "You bastard!"
Oh, I did. I did. I got so into it that I swore on our family friendly podcast, and then Paco said that was really good, but I'm gonna need you to retake that.
Getting a little too into it, bro. We don't want our cleric dropping any if bombs or whatever it is. Just kidding. It was just that. But I love that story. It's so funny. Um okay, what is something you'd like our listeners to know about Zorvan? So I've given a couple examples to everybody. What's your favorite color? What's a dream you've had? Jacob's answer was just straight up, I'm a killer. I kill people. And I'm like, that's true, but everybody's kind of given these deeper answers, but take that as you will.
Something that's not a spoiler, huh?
Yeah, not a spoily.
Pointing back at Iverson, um, I think that maybe Zorvan is a little bit envious of the macho guys who are super strong, especially when he's failing all of his athletic checks and strength checks. And I think he wishes that he perhaps were more like how the Dark Elves wanted him. And it kind of funny because like Taisha and Zorvan, they kind of like swap roles in a way.
Totally.
Like she becomes a fighter, he becomes the priest, right?
Well, I'm a rogue,
And
but yes.
oh yeah,
Just kidding.
yeah, rogue. Um,
A melee fighter, you're correct.
yeah, totally. But just like, and I think, um, yeah, he wishes that he had more of those types of skills, and I feel like in his youth, he, it's not that he just wanted to not do it, he tried, um, but no matter how much training he got, he just couldn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, and he's honest with himself. I like that. Okay. Being 20 plus episodes in, so when we're recording this, we're 24 episodes in. How has your character developed with no spoilies?
He's definitely become a lot more confident, a lot more warm. He's opened up to the party. Um yeah, he's really found himself, and um he didn't think that he would be able to really find a home again, but the party has kind of become his home in a sense. And yeah, and I think that's why he loves to do those sentimental moments that we put some piano behind it. Um, yeah, because it's so real for him, you know.
And I applaud you on those because it is very sometimes it is very difficult to have those moments because sometimes our own human heads can get in the way and we're like, oh, nobody wants to hear that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's so hard, or something like that. But your willingness to just jump into the deep end, especially with the emotional, I think that is key. Because I know for me, like, it's helped me a lot. Go, okay, hold on, you don't have to just be, and I've shared a little bit sometimes, like, that it's an insecurity of mine sometimes where I feel like I'm too much of a jokey character, where I'm more comic relief than anything. But that's not always the case, you know what I mean? And you kind of give everybody an avenue to explore that. So thank you. Very good. From where we are, what advice would Zorvan now give Zorvan in the beginning
Oh
where we
wow,
meet him? Yeah, I know. I did a really good job of.
that's a good question.
Thank you.
Um, he would say it's okay to trust people. He would say, yeah, and not only like with all his secrets, because um, not a real spoiler alert, but a little bit of a spoiler. He has quite a few secrets, like many other people in the party, and yeah, just trust people to um, be confident in himself. I think it would be interesting, the Zorvan now, if he went back to the beginning, he would play very differently.
Hmm. Yeah, that is very interesting. All right, we have one more. From what has happened where we meet him, okay, to where we meet everybody together, what happened in between that for Zorvan? Like, how much time has passed?
Oh wow. Um, well, probably a Paco question, but he traveled from Half Light all the
Ooh.
way to Silver Deep. Um,
Nope, Raven's Perch.
or yeah, Raven's Perch. So I'm assuming it would be at least a few months. Um, now how much of that? And I recently found this out, like very very recently, but the world beneath, right, is all connected. So did he travel above ground? Did he travel below? A mixture of both?
I've thought about this. I thought about this today, and I personally think that with everything that's going on down below, and that he did kind of run away from that as well. I feel like he kind of stayed above ground. I'm really thinking that it might be a couple years, like a couple years before he got to Raven's Perch. I don't want to talk for you, but
I could see that.
because you're not just like going nonstop. I'm sure you're stopping in different towns, staying for a few days, maybe a couple weeks, and then moving on, you know?
You know, I think that does make sense actually, because episode 1, even from episode 1 to when we first start with the party at 4, it feels like a lot of years have passed. Like the first version was a very younger version of himself.
Yeah. I don't know why I have 3 years in my mind. Maybe we've said it somewhere before. Um, or maybe Paco said it. So we'll ask him about it. But yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Oh, well what about, so for yours it's a lot more recent, right?
For mine, it was like this question I'm not even gonna really ask, but you're asking, like, for Taisha, it was like a week, 2 weeks later. Like, after everything that's happened, I think she just kind of stayed in that one spot until it kind of blew up, literally and physically, um, and emotionally. So that's when she kind of was like, "All right, I guess I'm an adventurer now. I'm not waiting tables no mas." and keep going, you know? So, yeah, I think
I,
so.
I think Taisha's backstory, going to like the Mighty Nine animated series, um, it makes me think. I feel like if you animated that, it would be kind of like Caleb's, where it's like this cool like flash forward and flash back.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Let's keep that in mind for when we make a show or
Hey, one
something.
day.
And for our next guest, we have the one, the only Matthew Park. Bam, bam, bam,
Yo, what's
bam.
up?
Yes.
It is
All right.
I, bathroom bread.
I don't actually think that well, they might know that already. But if you don't know, you got to be there.
You gotta
Episode 4,
listen.
you just got to
You
be
just
there.
gotta listen.
So, this is what I'm affectionately calling questions for co-stars, because we are co-stars. Okay. You play a very specific character named Aden Deckard? Question mark?
Paco
Or
likes to say it
Deckard.
like that.
No, you say Deckard. He says Deckard.
Oh, I say Descartes. Yeah, potato, potato.
Aiden D over here. All right. So I'm just basically going through the episode. Um the episode where but your backstory basically. But yours is very unique as it is not a backstory, but it kind of is. It meets him right before we all come together as a party. No. It happens right as we're already a party, but right before episode 4, like a couple of days before episode 4. Which is where we all come together and you kind of finally see us all together. 6 crazy people, super fun, super wacky kooky. And you are talking to a character named Oracle Peridot, or as you call him, Ori.
My
Um,
fave.
Your fave.
My bestie.
And you're basically, it's not a therapy session, but you call it therapy session, and it kind of seems like it if you listen to it. But basically, when you enter the town of Silverdeep, we learned about Silverdeep last episode with Paco talking about Seville. But as you enter Silverdeep, you have to go through something called the Agate Chantry. So the car went by. So Oracle Peridot basically reads the last few days of your mind. Craziness. And what he was finding with Aden was concerning. So this is where we find ourselves. And basically he was allowed in. We did all our stuff, but he often comes back because they want to, how would you say it? Research you, right?
Well, I think it started off as a hey, what's wrong with your brain? And
Yes.
then it went to hey, can you be my therapist and tell me more? And then I think I just came back more.
Yeah, I think so. But like, I don't think he necessarily argued with you coming back because it is very cool. Like, it's a very interesting thing to come across as someone who reads minds, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, you did kind of treat it like therapy, which is very fun. And we do see it in this episode. But before we get into all that, give us a brief visual description of your character, Aden.
Aden is. Oh, I have to remember what Aden looks like. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Well,
I know he
is
had like maroon red skin.
Yeah.
He had really sharp features.
Mm-hmm.
He was a half human, half genasi. So imagine if a Genasi had really like human features, almost like half elves and half
Yeah.
humans look like. But he has this like really tough, like maroon red type of skin.
Mm-hmm.
He also looks younger, like you have those young adults that look like they're still teenagers, but really they're a young adult. They just have really young features.
So what you mean to say is that he was meant to be an actor. He was meant to play that high
He,
school character forever,
hey
or
man,
at least for a
if he
good
was on
15
Disney
years.
Channel, he'd be on Disney Channel, all right?
Yeah, he would make some bucks.
He
That's
would.
what we're saying. Yeah.
And
He also has like fire hair, right?
he does. He basically has kind of like black hair or brown hair that's like highlighted. So every time he'll like move or do something, that Genasi, a little bit Genasi like mix fire comes out. So he has highlights in his hair will kind of turn fire. And he's
Yes.
also has tattoos, like this giant tattoo across his entire body, which will be explained a little bit why later. Uh, yeah. So I guess you could say he's kind of cool.
He's kind of cool. I mean, he's kind of cool. Okay, give me the game mechanics though. So you did say we treat him like a fire genasi type, correct?
He is a Genasi Bard Fighter multi-class.
Crazy. When we did start this, however, I think the switch happens a little bit further in. But right here, Aden is a full bard.
Oh, full Bard.
But then we get into the backstory. And the backstory is your name's not actually Aden. Listen to the episode. If this is any spoiler, go listen to episode 2. It's just literally episode 2. And you'll hear Aden's story. He's the first one in that episode. But spoiler alert, his name is not actually Aden. What is your name?
Sojin.
Sojin. Okay, I need to tell you, I listened to this episode today to kind of refresh, and I totally forgot your name was Sojin. I totally forgot. Completely.
Well, I think it's because the party kind of finds out my real name a lot later on as well. I think what was interesting is that this character, like the backstory, the way it's written, that's kind of gets explained in episode 2 was I wanted to try something new and different where almost like you've lived an entire life but don't remember it.
Yes.
And it's kind of like how I played my character. So it kind of left all bias and certain decisions, like metagaming decisions out of it because I was really blind to who I was before. And it was like, it gave me a chance to make decisions and act as if it was fresh to me because it is fresh to me when information comes out slowly, right, over time.
I mean, that's definitely a hard way to play. I think for a lot of people, especially, I would honestly say, as you're getting into D&D, sometimes creating a backstory can be a little difficult. It can be a little vulnerable, and some people choose not to do that, and they let the DM know, hey, my character has amnesia, and that's called a knife, right? Like you're giving your DM a knife, saying, hey, you get to make this however you want. Go ahead, buddy. But also, you're not really writing a backstory. You did not do that. You
No.
said, here's my backstory. Write my other backstory because this is not actually real, but it is kind of real. And it's crazy because you as a player have to keep those two lives separate while still getting all of this information and creating the information as well. Super great, super cool. You play it really well. You irritate me a lot, but I think Aden irritates me.
It's the character. It's not me. It's the character irritating your character.
Yes. But we have found out, which is crazy because a family in our church listens to it, and they have 4 boys, all under the age of 10, I believe. And their favorite character is Aden. And I'm like, what? just like as like a little character study, doing a little questionnaire for the listeners. I'm like, why
It,
Aiden?
it's the chaos.
It
It's the
is.
chaos. That's what it really
And
is.
I think it has he has a boyish, like, lovable thing about him too, because he's not 40, he's not 30, and he, prior to this thing, and you kind of like Aiden kind of explains it when he was talking to Oracle Peridot and saying, oh, so this is what we did. We saved some kids. The church exploded at my town, and I'm the mayor's son. And basically, I had to go with these people because they were trying to kill me, And you kind of explained that whole thing. You're like, and then there was a witch, and we had to kill her, and we did, and now we're here, And if we're really taking that at face value, this is his first adventure. Like, he might not have even wanted to be an adventurer. Is that fair to say?
Oh, he didn't want to leave. He had to leave. And I think he's expressed it over like the future episodes where he's like, I mean, I don't really have a choice. I'm just kind of here. I don't even want to like be here, but I'm here.
Yes. Until you choose to be there, which is very cool. A next question is, how is your character similar and different to you, Matt Park?
Wow.
I know. I really thought about this.
Well, I say wow because I feel like in the process now I realize of doing D&D and creating characters, that vulnerability that you talked about, there is this really, no matter how hard you try, there's this really unsettling vulnerability that there is actually a piece of yourself, and it's almost like therapy sometimes, which is ironically like a good bridge essentially. It's kind of like you get to, in the creation of your character, you don't realize you're actually taking a look within yourself sometimes. So it is interesting to see how it was created, at least Aiden's character, because Aiden's character was very much, I feel like, had some personal touches of my personal experience and life experience in creating him. But I think the added dynamic of that secondary aspect of Sojin is the challenging part for me, who enjoys crafting and I know my character in and out, but then having to play a character that is almost like I have to dynamically react and make decisions based upon like information and dreams and visions and recovering memory, right, of who I actually am.
And I would have to think every memory that you uncover kind of gets absorbed into that personality, and now you're going to act a little bit different. That's kind of how, I mean, you can kind of see it throughout each episode, and it's very detailed. But I've always thought of it as like, why is Aiden so weird right now? And it's like, honestly, no. He just remembered something crucial from his past, and now he's like coping with it while around a bunch of weirdos.
Well, yeah, about around a bunch of, he's already a kid who has a struggle and had struggles with connecting with people and then having meaningful relationships with people. And then now he's around a bunch of strangers, right? And then on top of that, he is now having these moments where he's struggling between what's real, what's not. And because things that were fake felt real.
Yeah, totally.
Right? And things that were real felt fake.
Crazy.
Right? Because of the things that happened. So he is in this constant like mental destruction battle of who am I? Even what I feel, can I trust what I feel is real?
Man, that's so sad.
Right? Which is like almost breaking. So there's times where you'll see him do something almost uncharacteristic, but then you're like, wait, is that characteristic? And depending on what it is, I don't even know if I'd be able to answer.
Yeah, very good. What's something you would like the listeners to know about Aiden? Like a little cute thing. It could be a cute thing. Jacob said he was a stone cold killer, and
He
yeah, I
said he
guess
was a
so.
stone cold
Because
killer.
I gave him the examples. I'm like, favorite color, or a dream that you had, like, and then he was like, he's a killer. I'm like, okay, cool.
That's such an interesting question because I'm Aiden and Sojin.
Ugh.
So would it be one for each? Because that's also kind of crazy.
I think right now we're still Aiden, so let's choose Aiden for now. I mean, we
Okay.
experienced Sojin, but Aiden is experiencing what it's like to be Sojin. So it's yeah.
Something interesting about Aiden. I think something that's interesting about Aiden is that it's never said, but he actually keeps a little book that he writes all of his journeys and memories with the party for two reasons. One is that he can remember it if something like that happens again, which hopefully
what
doesn't. And
what
two,
a crazy
so
thing.
so he can remember what's real. And the second thing is that um he knows that it's real and those things are precious to him because he anything that's real is precious to him that he knows is real. So he almost is like writing a book, but based upon journal entries that no one knows.
And you know your own handwriting. It's your 51st date sing yourself.
Yeah.
Like how he always makes her a video, but then she's like, actually, I want to read my own journal because this makes sense to me.
Yep. Nobody knows that, but now everybody does.
I love it. Paco will use that against you somehow. Um,
Probably. Most likely.
we are currently 24 episodes into this series. Without giving any crucial details, being 20 plus episodes into the series, how has your character developed without spoilies?
It's like a combination of having the innocence of your youth, but then having Benjamin Button disease and having all the wisdom and experience of someone who's lived life and lived, I don't want to say traumatic experiences, but has seen some things, right? Um, so my character has developed kind of interestingly, and he leaned more one side, and then 24 episodes in, you kind of see him have a weird maturity and character development, but there's moments where you see Aiden, and there's moments where you see Sojin influenced Aiden, right? So that's where that character. It's almost like it's weird because you see innocence and the death of innocence together.
Yeah, it's an unraveling. Crazy.
Yeah.
What advice would Aiden now give Aiden back then?
I think advice you would give him is that you don't need to know that it's real, but the feelings are real.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad knowing what I know. Guys, listen to our show. It's
Oh,
very good.
it's 100% heartbreak.
Okay, and last one. From what has happened here to where we first meet you, what happens? So from the episode, episode 2, to where we are in episode 4 when we all finally, like, when we're actually together and everybody experiences us together. I feel like we already kind of know the answer because you're going to therapy, right?
Wait, is so episode 2
You're talking to Oracle Peridot.
in episode 2 already?
Yeah. So you like straight out go listen. You go listen to it. But it takes us through, like, it's Aiden telling us what happened right before you meet the party together. And he's like, oh yeah, so my hometown is Ravenspersh. My dad's the mayor. And I was adopted, but yeah, basically the church exploded and we have to save these kids. And then a witch was trying to take one of these kids, so we had to go kill the witch, and I had to come along for some reason. And then during that, I saw like a different life. And yep, that's me. And that was Aden.
Yeah. And then yeah, so that was kind of a good synopsis of it. I mean, fought a witch, hit my head cuz she totally bodied me and I got concussed, but then I unlocked a memory in my brain and I was like, "Well, that was a weird dream." And then I we get to the gate, right? And then they scan my brain and my memories because that's what it does. It scans your memories of the previous like 2 to 3 days, and they find out like there's some weird magic with your memories. And I go, "What do you mean?"
What doing? What you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just surprised the party left me with Ori. Like no one ever thought like this guy could be bad or weird. Everyone's like, "All right, go to your therapist. He'll be
We
fine."
trust them.
We're
Yes,
so
it's
lucky
very
nothing
cute.
bad happened.
Hey, I'm Anuhea Park and I play Fearne. Go listen to Collective Imagination, Episode 1 The Nomad and the Runaway.
Hi, I'm Austin Chong Tim, and I play Zorvann, the Dark Elf Cleric. Go listen to Collective Imagination, Episode 1, The Nomad and the Runaway.
I'm Matt Park, and I play Aiden Descard. Go listen to Collective Imagination, Episode 2, Mommy Issues.
And that is a wrap. Thank you so much for coming along with us. If you haven't already, go listen to Collective Imaginations episode 1, 2, and 3. Um, the background stories. You get to kind of meet the team, the party, and see what we're getting ourselves into. If you want to continue, you can go listen to episode 4 already, wherever you can get your podcast. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is. We're going to be posting them on YouTube as well after all of these episodes kind of come about. So thank you so much. Thank you for coming along, and we'll see you next time.